1-800-BELLTONE today.
This is not your grandfather's hearing aid. My life is better with Beltone.
Those are some of the scenes of the flooding and the rescues in Ohio. Welcome back, everyone. This is Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis. Alex Wilson has the evening off. We've got new video into the Weather Channel flooding in other places, including in Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Radar estimating up to 5 inches of rain in the last 6 hours, and this is the result. High water and a flash flood watch that goes until midnight. Look at the road here, inundated, and the water up to the doors here in some of the businesses and along the sidewalks. Rough go for us for sure, and a few areas where we have flash flood warnings in effect this evening across New Jersey. Southern New Jersey in particular was hard hit, and we've got some active storms for us that continue right now, including some areas where we still have severe thunderstorms and we still have flooding that's ongoing. One severe thunderstorm warning left for us here. This includes Sussex County, this between Georgetown over toward Ocean City. Maybe about to just slam you here in Ocean City. I'll tell you what, let's go real tight on this, and I'm going to show you the high-resolution radar so you can get a better depiction of what's going on for us right now, because these storms are really cranking out the rain right now. Elliott, Salisbury, and almost now into Ocean City. Heads up on what's coming in. I'm going to put this in 3D here so you can get a feel for how tall some of these storms are, okay? We'll tilt this for you, and you can see that they've got some vertical build to them here, right? So just watch these storms to come in here. These storms, marching on in, they'll produce maybe a quick 1 to 2 inches of rain, and the next thing you know, you're underwater. Let's show you the accumulation we've had here in the last 3 hours, and this gives you maybe a better idea of where some of the flooding is happening, especially in Jersey where we had those flood warnings. Some of these areas radar has estimated close to 5 inches of rain. So be aware of how active the weather's going to be for us for the remainder of the evening. What I can do here is put on the high resolution forecast model, and this gives you an idea hour by hour of where these storms go. We'll put this into motion for you, and you can see storms will be around for maybe the next couple of hours. There's 10, 10:30, maybe around 11 o'clock. The big brunt of them, they'll be gone. And then overnight tonight, may still see a few showers hang around over Chesapeake Bay, but by the morning hours, just about everything should begin to clear out for you here. But we know that training thunderstorms can create flood issues for us, and we've had that across much of the Delmarva this evening and portions of the Northeast. So let's get some perspective from somebody who's been forecasting these storms. The National Weather Service office is closely monitoring this. Mitchell Gaines joining us now from Mount Holly office. Mitchell, thanks for being with us this evening. How rough did the weather get for your forecast office?
It has been a rough couple of days, actually, and we've seen several rounds of thunderstorms move through, gusty winds, a lot of lightning, really heavy rain, and reports of flooding as well. So we've had a pretty wide spectrum of weather to come through, and even where the actual location of the frontal boundary would set up today has proven to be quite a challenge, as well as even locations further to the north in our area are still 70, while down south it's 90 to 95 degrees.
Yeah, hasn't that gradient been absolutely phenomenal to watch? We've been showing just how big the contrast has been. So, finding exactly where that sets up becomes the trigger point for you. But I want to ask you something else we've been talking about on our show this evening is how wet it's been across much of the Northeast, so far this year. How big of a concern, going through the summer as you get more and more afternoon thunderstorms, does flooding become an issue?
Yes. We've actually seen today, one example is Millville, New Jersey, down in the southern part of the state, had a little over 2 inches of rain in about 25 minutes. So that would be a rate of about close to 4 inches per hour. As well, we've seen a few other occasions of really locally heavy rain. We had another spot in Cape May where the rainfall total so far has been over 3 inches of rain. So with these areas, particularly South Jersey and Delaware, really getting hit hard today, a lot of the rain in a very quick amount of time really leads to a lot of quick rises on streams and creeks, and even some occasions where roads become flooded. And it becomes really hard, well, if not impossible, for cars to get through.
Yeah, we've seen some of the video there of some cars that were just dead stopped and putting it in reverse to get out of the flooding. Mitchell Gaines joining us tonight from Mount Holly. Thank you very much, Mitchell. Good to talk to you. Some good insight there. Let's take you now to the southern half of the country and talk about some of the issues we're having there with thunderstorms, including not in Atlanta. We've had storms off and on for the past couple of days, but most of the storms are just north of you. In LaPorte, Texas, we'll have some storms around, but really all across the deep south, thunderstorms are back in our forecast, and it's just that time of year. It's July. Summertime thunderstorms happen, but maybe a little bit more of a tropical connection too, Dr. Navarro.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of things happening across the southeast. Look at the radar right now, just lighting up with storms. And we do have that tropical connection in play with moisture coming up from the deep tropics, helping to fuel these storms. So if we go ahead and take a look at our forecast and what we can expect in the future, we're expecting lots of storms throughout the southeast along the Gulf Coast. They'll be dying off overnight and into the early morning hours tomorrow. But watch again tomorrow afternoon and late tomorrow evening for things to start lighting up again across the Florida Panhandle into Alabama and Mississippi, and then again into Louisiana. And then, of course, looking ahead towards next week, we're going to have a frontal boundary that's coming into play. So here's that deep tropical moisture coming in. We've got very persistent easterly flow that's helping to push everything across the Gulf of Mexico and onto that land. And there's that cold front. It's causing some problems already up here across parts of the north, but it's going to stall out and create an area of focus here for further storms looking ahead to early next week. So as that tropical moisture comes in and rises up over that front, Mike, we can expect thunderstorms all along and across the southeast.
And I feel like there can be a big concern when you have a setup like this for training thunderstorms or really stationary storms that just produce heavy rain for hours on end. It becomes a flood issue.
Absolutely. I agree. And we really just don't need that kind of water in a lot of these places. But we have that situation in play all throughout tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. It's just going to be stormy for the next couple of days.
It's unfortunate for a lot of people. And we actually had some recent flooding, I feel like, around Gulfport, where we saw, cars driving through, knee-deep water in some instances. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens with this setup, right?
No, I don't think so. I think some of these areas could see as much as 3 to 5 inches of rain on top of all of these areas that have already seen it. So we got to be on the lookout for that flash flood threat. It could be very imminent in a lot of these places. So make sure you take caution. Don't drive through those flood waters. Maybe this is just the weekend to just stay home or find another way.
Right. Now, a place like Florida, we've recovered nicely from our drought, but there are still a few pockets where we could use a little bit of rain.
Yes, even with all this rain, Orlando, Tampa, and Fort Myers, you're still below average for this time of the year. So it's amazing, even with all that rainfall, we still haven't quite gotten there yet. It
seemed like maybe that June rain was a little bit more selective than we thought it was, huh? All right, Dr. Navarro, thank you very much. All right, you're up to date on what's happening in the Northeast, what's happening in the South. But how about as we go through the weekend and show you what's happening across the upper Midwest? We've got a chance for some more storms to roll in, including Green Bay. Now, we showed you this camera not long ago, and we had cloudy skies overhead, and it was stormy. Now, Green Bay 75 right now. Love that temperature. Really comfortable. Beautiful sunshine. It's going to be a great sunset for you tonight, and maybe dinner outside, or you're going to do a little grilling out tonight. Should be A-OK. We've got a chance for some storms to rumble back in tomorrow, so if you're going to go to the pool, I'd probably go there earlier than later, and then watch for some hail and high winds to be issues in the areas that are highlighted in red from Traverse City to Marquette, all the way back to Green Bay, Madison, and then towards Albert Lee as well. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this narrow area of moisture and instability. So we had some really active weather earlier in the week. We got a little bit of a break, and now the atmosphere reloads, and here we go. We're just funneling moisture in here and a large area of unstable air, so we're getting a lot of buoyancy in the atmosphere, low-level moisture, and the air becomes buoyant. It wants to rise, and so you build these big thunderstorms, and next thing you know, you're off to the races. Strong northwest winds here at the upper levels could really drive these storms, and they could even last and persist through the overnight hours and become big wind makers. For a place like Green Bay, 6 to 10 o'clock tomorrow, the area and time to watch. Temperatures tomorrow should be in the low to mid 80s, and then as we go through the overnight, conditions improve dramatically. For Minneapolis, midday through around dinner time, watch for the storms to come your way and temperatures that top out in the low 90s. All right, you caught up on the weekend, but we're just getting started here on this Friday edition of Weather Underground. We've got your 6 top weather videos of the week, and you're voting for #1. Here are the two top contenders, multi-vortex tornado versus building collapse. If you go to our Weather Underground Twitter feed, you can watch both of these videos and then vote in the poll that's posted immediately after it. We're going to have the results coming up later in the show. Active weather across the south tonight. Numerous states are lighting up with storms, and flooding becoming a bigger issue now in North Georgia. Numerous flash flood warnings for us right now between I-75 and I-85, especially near Cherokee, Dawson, and Forsyth County. Heavy storms in Gainesville.
Shop all makes, models, and colors in your neighborhood, all with worry-free ownership. Head to your neighborhood Enterprise car sales and let the people who buy more vehicles than anyone shift your thinking about buying your next one.
Today we're out here with some big news about type 2 diabetes. You have type 2 diabetes, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. How does diabetes affect your heart?
It doesn't, does it?
Actually, it does. Type 2 diabetes can make you twice as likely to die from a cardiovascular event like a heart attack or stroke. And with heart disease, your risk is even higher. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. But wait, there's good news for adults who have type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Jardiance is the only type 2 diabetes pill with a life-saving cardiovascular benefit. Jardiance is proven to both significantly reduce the chance of dying from a cardiovascular event in adults who have type 2 diabetes and heart disease and lower your A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are sudden kidney problems, genital yeast infections, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions.
So now you know all that, what do you think?
That it's time to think about Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance and get to the heart of what matters.
Yeah, these Beneful Break and Bites are great. They'll break off a couple if you sit, you stay. But if you want all four, you gotta get cute. You gotta let a baby sleep on your belly.
Beneful Break and Bites, with real beef as the #1 ingredient.
Please, help!
The running of the bold dogs? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Aaliyah saved by switching to Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
More dermatologists recommend Cetaphil for sensitive skin. Its pH-balanced formula cleanses gently for healthy skin. Women recommend Cetaphil because of how it makes them feel. Healthy skin is Beautiful. Cetaphil.
Long live honor, and long live the truck that salutes those who've built this country. Ram, America's longest-lasting pickups.
Now get 0% APR financing for 72 months on 2017 Ram 1500 quad and regular cabs.
Thank you for barging in like that.
Yes, and if you need anything ever, work it out yourself.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone said what they meant? The Citi Double Cash Card does. Earn 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. Double means double.
All right, everyone, welcome back. It's Friday. Cue the music. Let's open up a six-pack. Let's get your weekend started with our top 6 weather videos of the week. All right, here we go. Number 6. This is a massive storm in Minnesota. It's kind of mushroom-shaped here. Big supercell in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Lightning flashes all around. This is from Tuesday. What a good get. Look at all that. It looks like someone put like a light bulb in the middle of it, and you start turning it off and on, right? That's all the lightning inside of it. All right, our number 5 video, waterspout off the coast of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Incredible shot from Kill Devil Hills here. Close-up view. Eventually, this did come on land. Moved on shore, produced a little bit of minor damage, but big old waterspout there, and what a close vantage point, right? Number 4, an EF1 tornado in Conroy, Iowa. Now, this video shows you it out over a field here. It actually was an EF1 with winds up to 105 miles per hour, and it caused a little bit of damage to 2 outbuildings. Peak winds over 100, but mostly stayed out there over the cornfield. We're going to have more on this coming up in just a little bit. Our number 3 video, rotating supercell near Iowa City earlier in the week. This is time-lapse, but just gives you a great sense of the wild supercell motion here. The striations in the clouds here, the rising motion, the tail cloud, really phenomenal. All right, but none of those are our top video. We're putting 2 to the vote for you. Our top 2 contenders for video of the week, multi-vortex tornado and building collapse. You voted on Twitter. Let's show you how you voted tonight. Multi-vortex tornado wins with 75% of the votes. So coming in number 2, building collapse. This happened in China, and people actually start yelling. Listen to this. As the building goes down, splashes into the river. Everyone, though, had been evacuated. No one was hurt. Then there's Buxton, North Dakota. And how about this multi-vortex tornado? Is this a wild view or what? Over the road. You just see one vortex after another spin here, and an incredible vantage point from the storm chasers here. Wow. Thank you, everyone who voted it number 1. Now, I told you that we'd show you more of that Conroy tornado, right? This is another view of it, different view of it. This happened in Iowa on Tuesday. Looking to pick up some trees here, toss them into the air. There's some violent motion within that, even though at this point it's got a little bit of a kink in it, but mostly over a cornfield here. Now, guess what? We got brand new video into the Weather Channel shot by a drone that shows you the path of that tornado right through that cornfield. So let's go ahead and roll it. Oh, it's like a movie, right? But you can see where the tornado went, right? We'll keep showing you this. Now let's pause it right there. I'm going to show you something interesting that you may see right here. So here's the tornado's path coming this way. Now notice there's an area here where it gets a little wider, right? Might have actually here been we had maybe a bit of a vortex here and a bit of a vortex here, and then the main tornado continued on. Some of these vortices can happen for just seconds, literally 1 or 2 seconds, and then it's gone, and then the parent tornado continues on. Let's continue the video as we go across these cornfields here, because you'll see a couple other different things. Now, the motion is this direction because you can see how the corn is laid down. We go a little bit higher, you can see the long path of this that goes all the way through this field and lays down some of this corn. Pause it right there. You see this area right in here where the corn's chewed up just a little bit more? Likely, just for a very brief moment, tornado paused a little bit and scoured the ground out a little bit more. Let's continue it here. And what you'll end up seeing are there'll be other areas where you see wider paths of the tornado. That's where you end up either getting the tornado growing, or you get little spin-ups around the main tornado. Look how it cuts across the field here, and you can see the path through there. I'm going to show you one other thing here, and it's a little bit higher on this video. As you can see the continued narrow path. Stop it right there. Another area where you've got a little bit more scour, and right in here as well. Maybe the tornado became a little bit more stationary. It slowed its forward speed and scoured out the corn a little bit more. But you can see a lot of different things from this video. Go ahead and roll it just by viewing it from the air. And drones give us these days remarkable views of tornadoes that we don't often get, or the National Weather Service would have to go up in a helicopter or an airplane and view it from above. Now you do it with drone. Pause right there. Another spot right there where the corn is laid down a little bit stronger. Might have been an area where the tornado either intensified briefly or had maybe more than one vortex with it. When we come back, Dr. Eric Navarro joins us to talk a little bit more about a major hurricane in the Pacific.
Nick was born to move. Not necessarily after 3 toddlers with boundless energy. But lower back pain won't stop him from keeping up. Because at a Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, or lower back pain from being on his feet by reducing shock and stress on his body with every step. So look out, world. Dad's taking charge. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
AMHQ weekend is a blast. I mean, we have so much fun. Reynolds is the most hilarious guy.
Boy, I feel warm back here.
Oh, that's the reason why.
Kelly Cass is great. She's the rock, the stability, the parent in the room.
Got so much to look at, so much to keep track of.
Reynolds Wolf, Dr. Greg Postel.
Look at that satellite picture. My goodness.
We make each other laugh.
I mean, you have to be really impressed with the Simmons convection. I mean, it's got to really bring a smile to your face if you happen to be a fan. It's all about getting you ready for your weekend. It's not that complex, although I do advise wearing a crash helmet.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 69. Winds light and variable. Saturday, sun and a few passing clouds. High 89. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear skies. Low 67. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do, drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Come on.
The moment you realize you have a 1-person vanity but a 4-person family.
At Lowe's, we have the latest styles and trends to fit your budget. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's.
Hurry into Lowe's and get up to 50% off select vanities.
Whoa! You're not taking these.
Hey. You're not taking those.
Whoa. You're not taking that. Come with me.
You're not taking that.
You're not taking that. You're not taking that.
Mom, I'm taking the Subaru.
Don't be late.
Even when we're not there to keep them safe, our Subaru Outback will be.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp. Get started with your idea. Call for free information.
Call 1-800-974-3271. That's 1-800-974-3271.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's talk tropics tonight. Dr. Erica Navarro joining us to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the Eastern Pacific because we got a serious hurricane out there.
Major hurricane, Category 4 strength right now. That's Hurricane Fernanda. It formed 2 days ago and has been steadily intensifying ever since we've been watching it, really.
This thing is uber impressive on satellite. I mean, we could ooh and ah all day long on this thing. Winds 130, moving west at 12. So it's going to stay, we think, in relatively favorable atmosphere for at least continued, either if not continued strengthening, some maintaining. It's not gonna die out as it goes, you know, into 60-degree water.
No, it's going to be charging west on the way towards Hawaii in the very long term for the next couple of days. But you said it, Mike, really impressive views from the satellite because there's so much you can see with.
What do you see? This is one of your specialties. You've studied hurricanes extensively. What do you see when you look at this infrared?
So what sticks out to me about this is first the pink and purple colors. So that's giving you an indication of how high the thunderstorms are penetrating up in the atmosphere. Those pink and purple colors show you the coldest. We have really deep thunderstorms toward the center, and look at how symmetric the eye is. At the end of that loop,
I'm blown away by that thing. That thing is, it just looks like someone put a DVD right on top of it.
Right, it looks like a disc. So when you see that, so now heading towards the end of this loop right there, when it gets that really circular, very symmetric structure, I mean, that's the mark of a major hurricane, but that is an axisymmetric storm. That's what we call it. They are literally symmetric about the vertical axis, and that means that they are very intense. You know, you can look at that and tell it has a low shear environment, it has plenty of fuel, and it's moving along at a speed that's not interfering with the organization.
So it's not necessarily like we think of a thunderstorm where they can be tilted or anything. Like it's like taking a stack of pancakes and they're all one on top of each other, perfectly vertical.
Perfectly vertical and just ready to go. You know, you're not really having factors inhibiting further development. So when you see a storm like that, that's a strong storm. You know, it has very beautiful structures, so we'll be watching it to see how it develops.
It's a stunner on satellite, no question about that. Dr. Navarro, thank you for that. Well, we know that there's been a stunning thing happen in Florida. 2 homes destroyed and close to a dozen threatened by a growing sinkhole in Pasco County, in the same place where an eerily similar sinkhole opened up 5 years ago. NBC's Kerry Sanders has more.
Early this morning, neighbors just outside of Tampa, Florida, startled by a sharp, crackling sound. The earth had opened beneath them, a dangerous sinkhole quickly growing.
There's a sinkhole right next to our neighbor's house, and it's literally eating the house, like, completely.
Look at that. It's a sinkhole.
Jose Rodriguez and his family at first didn't understand what was happening, but then scrambled to safety as the walls in their homes cracked and the floors buckled under their feet.
The first time I didn't know what to do, actually. I just saw the house. It was bouncing, cracking, falling apart.
The sinkhole is now 225 feet in diameter, approximately 50 feet deep and growing as residents in nearby homes evacuate.
Unfortunately, I don't think people in this community are going to sleep peacefully for a couple weeks.
This part of Florida is known as Sinkhole Alley. In 2013, just an hour away, another massive sinkhole swallowed a man after it opened beneath his bedroom. His body was never found. Florida's sandy soil sits on top of a layer of clay and a layer of limestone. Circulating water from too much rain or drought can dissolve the underground layers, causing the earth to give way. And when that happens, usually without warning, everything, including homes, go down as the earth collapses.
That was Kerry Sanders reporting. All right, it's almost time for the weekend, but before we go, I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask some questions, and of course, we've got Doc here to help answer some as well. All right, so this one from Ryan. This is where we start. What is the strongest hurricane to ever hit the U.S.? Is it possible for us to be hit with a Cat 5?
Ooh.
Good question.
Yes.
Okay, obviously, yes. The second, I'll answer the second part of that. Yes, we've been hit by Cat 5s before, so it's definitely possible. What's the strongest, though?
Labor Day hurricane, 1935. It had a pressure of 892 millibars.
At landfall?
At landfall. Below 900 millibars. That's incredible. That's a very deep pressure.
That's nuts.
That's nuts. And that one caused some trouble.
But that was 1935, and we've got a lot more population in harm's way now. So if we were to see something similar, it'd be catastrophic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a situation we don't want to have.
Right. All right, let's tee it up. Let's do another one for you tonight. Our next question coming is from Margaret, who asks, where do you go when you live in a one-level house during a tornado? Great question, Margaret. So if you don't have a basement, you have a one-level house, the best thing that we can advise you to do is actually go to an interior room of your house. No exterior walls in the room that you go to, no windows, so maybe something like a closet or a bathroom, maybe even under a stairwell if you can. That's usually a really strong spot. A place like a bathroom, by the way, it can actually offer you a little extra protection because there's a little bit more piping in the walls, and so you've got a little bit more stability in rooms like that. But make sure it's the lowest level of the home. If it's the first, if you only have a ranch home, then you don't have to go anywhere else, but just stay away from windows. Put as much protection between you and the tornado as possible. So, all right, well, I want to thank you all. Dr. Navarro, thank you this evening for being here. Thanks for watching. We're going to see you back here on Monday. And by the way, if you want to join the conversation, you have questions, or you want to participate in our polls, you want to send us videos or photos, use the hashtag WUTV for Weather Underground TV, and we'll do our best to get you on TV. Well, for all of us here at Weather Underground, I want to thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. And remember, together, we know more.
Currently in our area, 89 degrees under sunny skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 69. Winds light and variable. Saturday, sun and a few. Saturday night, clear skies, low 67. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
In snow-covered mountains, eerie figures haunt the landscape.
They look like monsters.
Pretty spooky. A mega windstorm blows in more than a little dust.